Longhorn fans, Sooner Nation, welcome to episode 218 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Oklahoma and the University of Texas. I'm here with my man, Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. Kevin, it has been, a week and a half since Oklahoma laid an egg in the second quarter of their opening round playoff game in Norman, Oklahoma. And I have consumed about this much, that's a zero for those not watching, this much college football news because I just can't do it. I can't do it. I got OU stuff for Christmas, and it made me sad. It didn't make me happy. Not a lot of OU stuff, thank God. But it's been rough. It's been rough. Now, I had to prep for this show. I had to get into the groove. I had to look at opt-outs and look at this and look at that. And I still kind of come back to what might have been. The good news is for Texas fans, and you yourself, you've never had to worry about what might have been, Kevin, because you've been slated for the Cheez-It Bowl for a month now. And that's got to be a good place for Texas fan, right? Just to not worry about it. Just know where you're going to play. No pressure. You have zero heartache to deal with. You're in the Cheez-It Bowl against a good opponent. That's good enough for Texas, right? It always used to be.
Maybe it used to be, but not anymore, man. Much rather be in the playoff. Felt like we had a playoff caliber team. I feel like, again, 9-3 is 9-3. Here's what it is. But, after watching the first round, I just saw several teams I knew we would have beaten that weekend.
Well, we talked about this already, but we could just make a mention of it again. They need to have the 12 best teams in the bracket.
It would be nice to see that for sure.
Yeah, because it's even as albeit I didn't want to watch any of the games. I definitely didn't want to watch Oregon, James Madison, and Ole Miss Tulane, which they could have just showed the replay from the regular season. It would have been the exact same game. But all that changes, Kevin. All that changes starting December 31st when the Cotton Bowl plays host to Miami and Ohio State, followed by the Orange, Rose, and Sugar. Probably the four best bowls, right? Really, historically.
For sure. Yeah.
It might not be close. The Cotton never made it to BCS status until the very end, did it?
Correct. Yeah. They went because they had the BCS, which was the big four games, right? The Orange, Rose, Sugar, and Fiesta. And then they changed that to the New Year's Six, adding the Peach Bowl and the Cotton Bowl to those two games.
That's right. But the Cotton Bowl historically has always been a really good bowl. Joe Montana won a game there. Texas played a lot of games in the Cotton Bowl. It's nice to have
and I think the last affiliation was Big 12 and SEC, so it always kind of be a fun matchup.
Yes. So, yeah, well, a fun matchup unless you're Oklahoma in 2011 playing Johnny Manziel.
Well, he was a special talent.
I remember thinking, you had a chance to shut him down, and that was silly.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Oh, that guy he could have done whatever. He could have picked the number in terms of rushing and throwing that he wanted to pick. It was, anyway, that's either here or there.
He was an electric college football player. He really was, man.
But before we get to that, Texas plays Michigan in the Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando. The storylines have gotten a lot spicier since the matchup was named, largely due to the shenanigans of one Sharon Moore costing him his job. Within the last 3 or 4 days, Michigan has hired Kyle Whittingham, who had retired, right, from Utah. They didn't steal him from Utah. He'd already retired.
No, he had already stepped down from coaching, I think was the quote. So,
and I'm trying to think for Michigan, like, is this a solid double? Is this a triple? I don't think it's a home run.
I don't know if it's a home run either, because, he's 66 years old, right?
Right.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Yes.
He's never been further east in Utah where he had really no pressure at all, right? I mean, how much pressure do you have being the coach at Utah? He's never had to recruit 5-star athletes and deal with, the drama and games that come along with recruiting talented players. I'm just curious. We know he can coach. We know his teams are physical and tough and disciplined and all that. But, I'm just curious about the whole roster building aspect of that, dealing with the high pressure job with the fan base and the administration that is going to expect you to win a lot of games, including against Ohio State.
Yeah, it's look, he's a good coach. He's a good
No
coach.
question about it.
Good coach. He spent 20 years at Utah, to your point. And prior to
Replacing
that,
Urban Meyer.
Prior to that, he played in the NFL a little bit, but he's always been from Utah. And his other coaching jobs are like Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho. Yeah, he's been in the West the entire time.
Eastern Utah, Idaho State, and not as a head coach, right? His only head coaching job is at Utah.
Yeah, I mean, he was on Urban Meyer's staff. Urban Meyer gets a Florida job. Whittingham becomes the head coach. It has been great for the University of Utah ever since.
His teams are typically very tough, very defensive minded. We think about the Caleb Williams Heisman year at SC where they beat him 3 times or something crazy or twice, and then again next year. Which is, the antithesis of what we think of a Kyle Whittingham team as a Lincoln Riley team.
Sure. And
so Michigan is getting what they want their identity to be, which is a defensive first team. I'm trying to I think that I didn't even think about it being 66, but that's kind of what he signed a 5-year deal.
I believe so. Yeah. Got
all the resources in the world. I think that there's an element of, well, I don't think I'm sure there's an element of let's get somebody in who is not going to embarrass us.
Yeah, who can steer the ship, just to have us on solid ground at the very least.
Yeah, if we go 9-3, we're not going to. And from an administration standpoint, we're not going to lose our minds, right? Because we know what we're getting. Do I think that this elevates them to some sort of Jim Harbaugh-like level? I can't make that leap.
It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. Because, obviously in the Big Ten, you're going to have Ohio State for sure. And then you have to deal with the likes of Oregon.
And now Indiana.
Yeah. Right. And then, USC is a very top-heavy conference. The middle and the bottom aren't great, but at the top, it's really good, man. Really, really good.
The argument is he's never had the opportunity to coach 5 stars at a place like Michigan. So you could make you could extend that out to say, look at what he did at Utah. Now take 5-star talent and think about what he could do at Michigan. And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
However, to your earlier point, he's never had to compete for 5-star talent and build a roster of 5-star talent against. I mean, listen, when you're at Michigan, you're not just recruiting against Ohio State. You're recruiting against Oklahoma and Texas and Alabama and Georgia and Florida and
USC,
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And SC.
Oregon.
I mean,
Michigan has been a national recruiting program historically. They get guys from everywhere.
Well, yeah, it's Michigan. It's blue blood. So
right.
I think this just got really interesting for Michigan. It's going to be – I like him as a coach. I've always liked him as a coach. Joe Young, guest of the show, friend of the show, as a BYU fan, of course, hated Kyle Whittingham. It'd be interesting to get his thoughts on, now that he's not there, what his real thoughts are on him as a coach, because I think he did a really good job. So he's got a quarterback, and it doesn't sound like he's going anywhere. And I don't know that he played good enough to go anywhere and make more money than he's making at Michigan. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, he might be able to get close to what he's getting, but I don't think he's earned any sort of big-time raise based on his performance as a true freshman.
No, I think it would very much be a Nico situation if he was to leave.
Yeah.
I think somebody would pay him, but it wouldn't be a blue blood. And it wouldn't, you say yourself, it wouldn't be in as good a position. It'd be a little different because you just don't know what shape Michigan's going to be in from a roster standpoint. I also think Whittingham probably has a pretty good shot at keeping a lot of those guys there, though. I don't think it's going to be a
and
mass
to the
exodus.
Michigan's credit, we had. If there was going to be a mass exodus, you would at least have thought it would have started already. And the only guys who are opting out of their bowl game have been the guys who are expected to be high draft picks, which is common for non-CFP bowl games nowadays. Yeah,
Derek Moore and Jay Sean
Benny, Rayshawn Benny.
Oh,
is that who? Yeah, but yeah. So these are top NFL prospects, which I mean, same thing for Texas, right? When you're not in the playoff, your top NFL prospects aren't playing in bowl games anymore. Christian McCaffrey set that precedent a few years ago, and then everybody just kind of followed suit.
And they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be.
I'm fine with that. No Anthony Hill for Texas.
Adrian Peterson playing against Boise State in a Fiesta Bowl, falling a broken clavicle, only to re-injure his clavicle and still rush for like 180 yards, is never going to happen again.
No, absolutely not.
And it probably shouldn't.
No, while as a college football fan, I enjoyed seeing him back on the field one last time. But, yeah, and we've seen it, right? Jake Butt at Michigan tearing his ACL in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, did the Notre Dame linebacker?
Jalen Smith. We're talking about a guy who was about to be a top 10, maybe even a top 5 pick, just destroying his knee against Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. And it wasn't a playoff game.
Wasn't a playoff game. Yeah.
BCS game. And just a horrific injury. And it really derailed his career as a professional.
Oh, absolutely. He was never the same.
No.
He was never the same. You know what? I mean, look, football's a violent sport. Guys can get hurt, and they can get hurt in non-contact. Like we see that almost as regularly as we see contact hits. But the other problem with a bowl game is you're coming off like a month of not playing football, right? You just don't know what the body's. I don't know. It's we know about the bowl. Okay, let's talk about this game a little bit. We've already mentioned Michigan's opt-outs. Texas opt-out / portal include C.J. Baxter, Trey Wisner, which we haven't talked about yet, have we?
We have not talked about that. Both guys to the portal. Well,
Malik Muhammad and Michael Taft to the draft.
Malik Muhammad, Michael Taft, Anthony Hill, Trey Moore to the draft.
DeAndre Moore and Leona Lafou are to the transfer portal. So you got 4 guys in the portal, 4 guys to the draft. Congratulations on those guys. Good season. Gladly not having to play Michael Taft anymore.
I'm sure you said the same for Anthony Hill too.
Oh, for sure. Thank God you can go to the pros after 3 years for Anthony Hill. Listen, man. Your defense has been really, really. Again, we talked about it last time when we talked about Muschamp taking over the defense. It has been a really good run of defensive players for you guys.
Yeah, it's been great.
Whether it's
draft, we've had just several guys. Byron Murphy's of the world, and T'Vondre Sweat.
That's what I was going to say. T'Vondre Sweat. And then who's your other big guy? And who's he playing for? He looked good the other day in the NFL. I was watching a game with him. Who was opposite Sweat?
Byron Murphy.
No, that's not. No. Maybe it was the following year. Alfred Collins.
Yeah.
Alfred Collins. He had a good game. Whatever I was watching. I don't even know who he plays for.
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that was a good game. Did you see that game?
I did. It was wild. That was a wild game.
It had never happened. It had never happened in the regular season, Kevin, where teams were tied at 7, at 14, at 21, 28, and 35. Never happened, except in a playoff game. Isn't that crazy?
Big time. Yeah, what a great game.
And Caleb Williams, speaking of OU and Texas players in that game, Caleb Williams had a chance at the end. as talented as he is, and he's not the reason they lost the game. Hell, they scored 38 points or whatever, right? I mean, that's his job. Those defenses got some work to do if they're going to compete for a Super Bowl. But he still makes some weird decisions, doesn't he? Like he can just make some weird plays.
You did have a that was a pretty top. It was a top tier coordinator matchup, play caller matchup with Ben Johnson and Kyle Shanahan.
Top tier quarterback matchup too.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I mean,
we're talking about Brock Purdy just being a really good NFL quarterback. Isn't that crazy?
You're talking about a number one draft pick that wasn't the same draft, was it? No. Brock Purdy's been there a little longer.
Yeah.
But still, number one player and Mr. Irrelevant, the last guy drafted.
Yes.
And
first pick, last pick in the draft.
And you watch that, and I did think Caleb made some spectacular plays. Like he made some, but he also still continues to make bonehead plays. Whereas Brock Purdy seemed to be a lot more efficient. We're off the rails. Okay, back to Texas. Okay, let's talk Wisner. We expected C.J. Baxter. Injury really kind of derailed his momentum at Texas to really turn that into whatever that career was. But Trey Wisner, 1,000 yards in 2024, expected him to have another good season in 25. It just didn't materialize, whether that's offensive line, whether that was him, play calling, whatever. Doesn't matter. It just never happened. But you didn't really think he was going to leave, did you?
No, I did not. No, I think what it came down to, it was a financial thing. I think.
Oh, you think he's getting paid?
I think he was hoping to get paid more from Texas. And I think he was expecting running back one money, and I don't think Texas sees him as a running back one. And I understand it. I don't like it because I love Trey, especially against our rivals. If we got the performance out of him that we got against Oklahoma and Texas A&M, not just this past year, but the year before that.
He'd have won the Heisman.
seriously, but the production just wasn't there in the other games. And I believe Texas, it's just, the unfortunate business of the sport now, right? Texas feels like they're going to upgrade massively in the portal. So I just don't think they're willing to reach the number. And apparently there must be someone out there that can reach the number that he wants to get for his last year. So I wish him the best. I hate that he's leaving, but I do understand from his point of view and from Texas' point of view.
He's healthy right now, right?
Yes.
Oklahoma wouldn't want him, would they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I feel like
I kind of throw it out there, but I
sure. I feel like with the names that are going to be in the portal, I think there's some real talent about to be out there.
Well, we've got Caleb Hawkins out of North Texas. He's a tailback. Any other tailbacks that just come to the top of your head?
Well, Jaden Ball that's who Texas is really waiting on. Out of Florida, we all know how talented he is. He just hasn't announced yet. Florida is not sure. He has met with John Sumrall, their new head coach. I know he loves Florida, but new head coach. Also, Texas hiring Florida's running backs coach, Jabbar Jaloop, gives Texas the inside track if he were to decide to enter the portal. So I know he's the number one guy on Texas board at the running back position, but there are other guys too. You mentioned Caleb Hawkins. I haven't heard anything with him in Texas, for the record. Also, Isaac Brown out of Louisville, explosive running back, who is expected to enter the portal as well.
Do you know where Caleb Hawkins is from? Is he from Texas?
He is from Oklahoma. I believe he's from the Tulsa area.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to wonder.
You would think Oklahoma State, right, for him?
I mean, yeah, his head coach, guy who found him, he was not a highly rated guy. He might have been a 2-star guy coming out of high school. He is from Shawnee.
Oh, okay.
So you would think Oklahoma State has a chance for sure with his head coach going there. But, I mean, did he dream to be a Sooner growing up?
Yeah.
Right? So you would think Oklahoma would have to, at least throw their name in the hat here. How would you not? It's a talented football player.
We mentioned DeAndre Moore. Oklahoma also losing Jaden Gibson. So a couple receivers and a couple guys graduating. Oklahoma's also waiting on Isaiah Satania, see if he might come back.
Kip
In the
Lewis as well,
meantime,
right?
Kip Lewis as well. But I mean, right now the portal prize is Cam Coleman out of Auburn. Now,
Yeah.
Texas was reluctant to spend the money last year for whatever reason. They didn't want to get into the bidding wars. And when you think about what happened with Jay Knott, you know why, right? You can see why there's some reluctance. Cam Coleman's not Jay Knott. Cam Coleman's demonstrated this in the SEC. He had numbers with a quarterback that could barely throw him the ball. I can't even imagine.
The quarterback play at Auburn was horrible.
It was god awful, and we know that. I wonder where he ends up, Arnold. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, number one, as it relates to this podcast, let's dream a little bit, both you and I. Although we'll see how realistic those dreams could be. I mean, Cam Coleman's somebody you open up the coffers for, right?
For sure, yeah.
Does Texas make a push at this guy?
I think they do. Yeah, I think they will. You have to look out for Texas A&M too. He was in high school. He was committed to A&M for a long period of the recruiting process.
Is he from Texas?
No, he's from Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
He's from Alabama. Yeah, that's how he ended up at Auburn. So I'm not sure how much, if Alabama will try to go for him, will he be somebody who will make that switch from Auburn to Alabama, or I think Texas A&M, because they will be willing to spend whatever is necessary for him. I think Texas will open up the checkbook as well. I don't know if they would, be willing to pay as much as A&M would be. But when you got a guy like that who's fast, he can catch the deep ball, he can go up and get it. It's something that any team could use. So yeah, I do expect Texas to be a factor here.
We talk about this all the time. You have any idea price tag on a 1-year rental for a?
Well, I heard he was $1 million last year, so I expect him to be 1.5, maybe even 2.
Is he a 1-year player, or was he a freshman last year?
No, I believe he was a sophomore last year.
So he could be a 1 year. This could be a 1-year rental.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's ready to go.
I think you're probably more willing to drop a bag on a 1-year rental because you don't have to pay him next time.
Look, Texas has had some success with the 1-year guy. Matthew Golden, Isaiah Bond, 1-year guys. It's great.
Okay, let's just keep it to OU. Let's just keep it to OU, Texas, and A&M for the discussion. With the knowledge that the dude could go anywhere. Tennessee might spend the money to go get him. Anybody could. So I get that. But for the sake of this podcast, let's keep it in this triangle between College Station, Austin, and Norman. Best quarterback to play with? Probably Arch.
Yeah, for sure. Look, now, Marcel Reed put up numbers.
The back half of Arch, though, right? Not the first half of Arch.
Yeah,
the back half of 25.
Right. Exactly.
Marcel Reed put up good numbers. Mateer hurt. Last couple games didn't look bad throwing the ball, though. I mean, you'd have to convince a Coleman that he's okay. Man, that would be – listen, if you got the world at your feet and you can name your price, it's going to be fascinating to see where this kid ends up. Because I think it's going to be a measuring stick for programs to say this is where people want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, apparently, he wants to go somewhere with a proven starting quarterback, which you would understand because what he got from Jackson Arnold, and I can't remember the other kid's name, the transfer out of Stanford, is just not good enough.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's not good enough. So,
you got Maeva at USC. If they were to open the checkbook, you do have Mateer, you have Arch, you got Marcel Reed, Aguilar, LSU.
I don't know if Aguilar's coming back. Is Aguilar coming back?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if he has any eligibility left.
Was he a 1-year guy?
I thought he might have been a senior. I mean, you never know. How it is with
it'll be
guys getting extra years, but
need to keep an eye on LSU
as a senior.
Okay, need to keep an eye on LSU. Because if they were to pull over Trinity Chambliss and or Austin Simmons, that could put them in play, maybe.
Correct. Yeah, you would have to think so.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Kyle Whittingham at the Cheez? Let's wrap this back up to the Cheez-It Bowl. Cam Coleman, from what I know, is going to go to Oklahoma. Let's go back to Kyle Whittingham. Will he spend more time at the Cheez-It Bowl than Lane Kiffin spent at LSU's bowl?
How long was Lane Kiffin at LSU's bowl?
He showed up in a car, got out of the car, did the TV interview, got back in the car, and drove away.
I get it. He's got things to do. He's got players to recruit. He's got a roster to build.
I'm just asking. Will Kyle Whittingham spend more time at Michigan's game than Lane Kiffin did?
Yeah, he will. He will.
This podcast loved Lane Kiffin. Like you and I were on the Lane train. I think that's fair to say.
I mean, he's annoying and but he's good for the sport. He's good for the sport.
Are you off the Lane train, or are you just you have the feelings or the exact?
No. Because the reason we're on the Lane train is not because we like him. We think he's some kind of good person. We're on the Lane train because he's entertaining for college football, and at least he has a personality, even if he's a snake, right? At least he has a personality, and it brings some entertainment to the sport. We need villains, man.
Yeah, Urban Meyer was a snake, but at least Kiffin does it with a smirk on his face.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. He's like a troll at the same time.
Oh yeah, no, he's a troll. He's a dick.
So it's entertaining. Correct. He's entertaining.
This is a helmet game. This
is it's an absolute
uniform game, a blue blood game. The only problem is Texas is the home team. So that puts Michigan in their white jerseys and Texas in their burnt orange.
Listen, I think all fans of both schools would love to see the jerseys reversed here.
Or reversed?
Just, yeah. We love our Stormtrooper white uniforms, man. We love them. We love all white.
First of all, I know y'all do. You love your icy whites and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I get it. It's an okay uniform. It's a good uniform. But the home and home would be pretty legit. Like I just think they should let more. Yeah, it would with this team. Yeah, absolutely.
That color scheme, it would work. Yeah, it's a cool thing about USC and UCLA. They both do the home thing.
Utah and BYU do it too.
It's great. Love it.
It's great.
Love it.
It's great.
This matchup, though, real quick. Let's just talk about the matchup real quick. It's so interesting, right? We talked about the opt-outs. It's hard to know what the teams are going to look like. Texas has no linebacker depth, right? Anthony Hill's gone. Leonga Lafau's gone. Those are our two starting linebackers. Anthony Smith has played a lot. He'll be playing. Bo Barnes, who's a true freshman, and he was a top recruit, right? High 4, borderline 5-star guy. He's hardly played at all this year, and he's gonna be in the mix a lot. Brad Spence, who's a transfer from Arkansas, who's kind of one of those combo linebacker / edge guys. We like him more as an edge guy. He'll be playing linebacker as well.
Will we see more?
I don't know what that's going to look like.
Will we see more Colton Vasek in this game too?
I believe so, yeah, because Ethan Burke was also a guy who opted out.
Yeah.
Because he's going to the NFL. So he won't be playing. So, yeah, I think we'll see a lot of Colton Vasek up front. So we'll see. We know what Michigan's going to try to do, right? They are who they are. They're going to try to run the football. Are the linebackers going to be able to be in the right gaps? That's really what this game is going to come down to.
Here's
linebacker play going to be decent.
Here's the problem for Michigan. The counter argument to that, the counter argument to your lack of linebacker depth is that they are without their head coach, who, if he didn't call plays, had a lot to do with it because he was the former offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Lease was heavily involved in the game plan.
Did he call plays?
No, I don't think so. No.
And their offensive coordinator play callers moved on to.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a tight end coach calling plays. Now, could that mean that you have some different looks or tendencies that maybe Texas isn't able to prepare for?
Right. And you mentioned that our defensive coordinator is gone.
Yeah.
So our Johnny Nansen, who's our linebackers coach, he's calling plays. Apparently simplifying the playbook. Manny Muhammad is, Michael Taft's gone. We just have, so I don't know. What I'm going to be watching for in this game Obviously, I want to see how Arch plays and how the offense looks. But, apparently we're going to play a ton of young guys. We've got some talented freshmen guys who didn't get to play a lot who are now going to be out there. And I want to see how they look because when you're at a program like Texas, right, and I put, Georgia, Ohio State, even Oklahoma, just teams that recruit talented players who are going to continue to upgrade the roster. These young guys need to show that they can, be competent on the field. If not, they're going to get recruited over, whether it be from the high school ranks or the transfer portal. So these are 5-star guys who are making a lot of money. They got to show something because, you came in as a freshman, you demanded a high salary, but if you're not proving anything, that price is not going to go up or even stay the same if you have no production.
I
It's
think
the
that's
business of the
what
sport now.
I think you're right, but I also think that's what Texas fan and Michigan fan are looking at. I think casual turn on the bowl game fan and enjoy the bowl game is watching Bryce Underwood and Archman.
For sure.
And talk about making money. The 2 highest paid quarterbacks in the country? Possibly, probably.
Possibly. Now look, with Arch, now I know Arch is already going to take a pay cut that comes from the collectives and stuff.
I thought he wasn't making any money from the collectives.
He wasn't. That was before he was a starter.
Oh, he took some starter money or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't want to do it when he wasn't starting. But yeah, he's not going to apparently, with the new revenue sharing deal, he's taking a pay cut and is going to just get the money from all his major endorsements, just so the team can be able to continue to get more talent.
I don't want to plug anything Arch is necessarily plugging, but I got the wife some Viore gear for Christmas.
Okay, is it legit?
Listen, dude. Number one, she says it's the most comfortable stuff she's ever owned. And number two, first of all, she's always a smoke show, but she looked like a smoke show in this stuff. Like it looks really.
Shout out.
She basically, her and Livy Dunn are like on the same level when they're both wearing.
So are you giving credit to Arch here or more to Livy Dunn?
Livy Dunn.
Okay. Fair enough.
Livy Dunn. A little bit to Arch. He looks good in those shorts. I won't lie about that. It doesn't upset me. I'll say it. Yeah, it's going to come down to Arch. I would love for this to be a game. We talked about the Sunday night football game. I would love for this to be the same type of game. Like,
just a shootout.
It is Big 12, up and down. Yeah. Let them go.
Just have some fun out there.
I just don't think.
Go let it rip.
I don't think Michigan can keep up with Texas. Like,
I would agree.
If it's the Texas we saw in the back half, with games against, not the game against Georgia, but the game against A&M and Arkansas and Vanderbilt, the second, the fourth quarter against Mississippi State. If it's that Texas, I don't think they can keep up with them. But it doesn't sound like they're going to have as many opt-out. It's an interesting watch. It's an interesting watch.
Correct. And what's the mindset of the team going to be? Is Texas going to be like, oh, well, we're not in the playoffs, so we don't care about this game. We're going to just kind of give a half effort, I'm just curious to see. You just never know how these kids are going to be.
I will say this. I think, though, and maybe this is just me. Maybe this is an optimistic view of college football. I think this concept of not caring, if they've opted out or transferred, those guys are gone. So it's like the guys that are there have demonstrated they want to play.
Correct. I agree. And the young guys, like I said, the young guys, we're going to be playing guys who have a lot to prove.
Absolutely. I mean, look, do they want to, run through a wall to win the? Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, it's the Cheez-It Bowl. Let's not kid ourselves. But everybody that's there, to your point, is either auditioning for a job, trying to keep their job, or is committed to the program. Like those are the three. And so maybe there's a give a rip factor here for both teams.
Yeah, it'll be fun. New Year's Eve. It's going to be a great day of football.
What do you think Sherrone Moore is doing with his ankle bracelet? Just hanging out at the house?
Yeah, just hanging out at the house, man. Just hopefully getting the help he needs.
You're so nice, Kevin. You're
No,
so
no,
nice.
I'm serious,
No,
man.
I know.
Think about this.
I know. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You are a good human. You're a good human, Kevin.
It's clear he needs help.
Yeah,
it's very clear what he just threw away.
Yeah. What an
we're talking about once in a lifetime opportunities.
Oh my God, what an idiot! All right, other games. I'm going to list these, and if you want to talk about any of these, then we'll get into the college football play. We're going to pick the Texas game at the end. This is tonight and tomorrow. Is Tennessee, Illinois, SC, TCU in the Alamo Bowl, Iowa, Vandy, ReliaQuest, ASU, Duke. Duke's a favorite in this game.
I don't know if Sam Levitt's playing. I think.
Has he transferred yet?
I think he announced he was going to hit the portal during the season.
Yeah, Google that up real quick.
So I'm assuming he's not going to be playing.
And Nebraska and the aforementioned Kyle Whittingham's former team, Utah Utes, are in the Las Vegas Bowl. Utah is a 14-point spread. Now, I think the most interesting game on here, is the Alamo Bowl, and I think it always is. I love the Alamo Bowl, always have. SC and TCU could be a fun game. TCU is a 6-point dog. Could be a fun game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always liked those games when Oregon was in it. Stuff was always crazy happening when Oregon was in the.
That Oregon TCU game was wild. Like coming back down 28 points, something like that.
Yeah, OU beating Oregon was fun with Bob Stoops coaching. That was cool. There was always good stuff. And then I always liked I don't know what bowl is the Holiday Bowl now?
Holiday Bowl, does it not exist anymore? Oh, like you mean what's the conference affiliation with it?
Yes and yes and yes. The Holiday Bowl used to always be a great bowl. It was in San Diego.
It used to be Big 12 and Pac-12.
Yes.
Deal.
Texas was in it a lot.
We were in it a lot, yeah.
OU was in it at least 2 times that I can think of. Maybe, yeah, I think.
Well, you guys would always, because you guys would always end up winning the Big 12, and then so the Holiday Bowl would have the next selection of the conference, and clearly they would always take Texas, because why wouldn't you? So, yeah, we ended up there a lot. The Holiday Bowl is happening. It is Arizona against SMU.
What is that? A New Year's Day Bowl?
It is. It'll be January 2nd at 7 p.m. Yeah, no New Year's Day, just because the 3 playoff games will be. Yeah, you're not going to go up against those. It is still in San Diego.
All right, those are the appetizers. Now let's jump into the playoff talk here. Let's get serious, Kevin. This is for all the marbles. December 31st, the night game, Cotton Bowl, Miami, Ohio State. Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite. Miami coming off a gutty, ugly, defensive standout type win. I don't know. Pick your adjective, however you want to describe what happened in A&M. But they won it 10-3. And for that, they get to stay in the state of Texas and go play Ohio State. Ohio State's a better team here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. The line, I think, is appropriate. You could see 27-17 in this game, or 30-21, right? Like, you could see that. My concern is I don't think A&M's defense is as good as Ohio State's.
Correct.
And they held them to 10 points. So I think Miami's defense has proven both against Notre Dame early in the season, A&M in this game, that they've got a pretty stout defense, and they're going to have time to prepare, and it might make it interesting for a bit. But this is a game Ohio State just wins, right?
I think so. I mean, with the performance that Carson Beck had against A&M, they were fortunate enough. He barely got over 100 yards passing against A&M's defense. And A&M defense is good, but
it's fine.
Ohio State is vastly superior in every aspect. They're better at getting pressure. They're better at covering across, and they're better at stopping the run. That's what killed A&M, is that Fletcher ran wild on them, which we saw coming, right? If you watch the Texas game, in the way that Texas and Trey Wiseman, you can see it coming. 172 yards rushing for Mark Fletcher against A&M. Ohio State, seriously doubt they're going to let Mark Fletcher run for 172 yards. Ohio State back 14-20 for 103 yards against. Not going to get it done against the Buckeyes.
Okay, let me ask you a question though, and I mean I agree, and I'm trying to find like devil's advocate here. Okay, I think Ohio State wins. I'm probably picking Ohio State to cover, but devil's advocate. The last time we saw Ohio State play was a 13-10 loss. Is Indiana's defense that much better than Miami's defense that Miami can't keep it close?
Because I think their defense is good. Miami's defense is legit. They're good at all levels too, especially up front. They've got dudes up front who can get pressure on Julian Saint.
Going into the first playoff game, they were averaging 13.8 points per game allowed, which was like 7th or 8th in the country.
You talking about Miami?
I'm talking about Miami. And so that number only went down after they played A&M, and held them to 3. I guess when you're trying to like look at commonalities or, whatever, it's like, I don't think any of us thought Indiana's defense was capable of holding Ohio State to 10 points.
No, we knew they were good defensively, but I didn't think they would hold Ohio State to 10. No way.
So can Miami look at that game and take something out of that and say,
absolutely, 100%. My issues with Miami's offense going up against Ohio State's team. I mean, enough to keep it close, yes, but at the very least, I would like to see Ohio State just get the ball to Jeremiah Smith, man.
Yeah, let's not make it hard.
Get him the ball. Screen passes, deep passes, reverses, whatever you got to do. Just get the ball in his hands. He's too talented, man. And then you got Carnell Tate. Don't overthink this. It's kind of like Miami in that A&M game, right? Like, once they just realized, they can't stop this duo play with Mark Fletcher, and they just kept giving him the ball, that's when they were able to drive down the field and get that touchdown to win the game. So you find something that works, just keep doing it. Get the ball to your guys.
Carnell Tate feels like a wide receiver that has been at Ohio State for 15 years. It's like he's like the same.
Third year too.
But you know what I'm saying? Not just him, but there's like
he's the same guy. Yeah.
And not even the first guy. He's not even like the first guy.
No, it's like Carnell Tate is Chris Olave, and he's also Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Just keep going down the list.
Yeah.
He's always and that dude is really good. He's always in the NFL looking good, and they make plenty of money, and you're just like he's so overshadowed by Jeremiah Smith, and probably rightfully so. The kid's maybe the best player in college football.
Yeah.
Maybe the best player in college football. All right. Let's go. Let's move on. Orange Bowl, Miami. Makes so much sense that Oregon and Tech are playing there. I still think it's stupid, but that's neither here nor there. Oregon is only a 2.5-point favorite. Look, people are dogging on Texas Tech because they're a Big 12 team. And we know that. We can relate, right? We know that the schedule is not the same. We know that the competition week in and week out is not the same. We know that that there's no way Tech can be as battle hardened as these other teams, i.e. Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama, maybe, But compared to a Big 10 team, are we willing to say that Oregon is that much better? Because Oregon's only win was against USC and Iowa. Those were their 2 wins. And they got beat up by Indiana at home. Their other wins are coming against terrible teams. The bottom half of the Big 10 is every bit as bad as the bottom half of the Big 12. Like, they're almost interchangeable. And I think the reason I'm going to give Tech the edge in this game is their defensive line. They went out. Look, we all know about Texas NIL commitments across the board. They literally went and bought a softball championship last year, and whatever, they won it. No, they
Oh,
lost.
yeah.
No, they lost.
They didn't win it. Yeah.
They darn near won it. How about that? They've never been there. No offense to Texas. Maybe offense to Mike White. But no offense to Texas. You're right. You won it. Congratulations. But you know what I mean? Like, they're spending the money.
They got to the championship game.
Having never made the World Series prior.
Never made the World Series and got to the championship game.
Their 4 defensive linemen are all dudes that could play in the SEC at a high level.
Correct.
This isn't – these are not undersized, all talented or undersized speedy or, you know what I mean? Or like –
I know exactly what you mean.
Making the most of their – no. These are dudes, all right? And if you got a defensive line, we've seen it in Oklahoma. We've seen it in Texas. All of a sudden, Oklahoma and Texas can compete in the SEC because they got defensive lines.
Correct.
Texas Tech's got a defensive line. I think they're in this game, Kevin. And I'm just spoiler alert. I'm picking them to beat Oregon.
They have everything that it takes to win this kind of game. And like you mentioned, it starts with the defensive line. Typically, when you think about Oregon, you think about them having a clear talent advantage over most teams in the country. That is not the case in this game.
No.
Now, I'm a little bit concerned about the quarterback position. I don't know. I'm still a bit on the fence with Baron Morton here, but I like their running game a lot. I like their receivers. And like you said, I love their defense, front to back, but especially their front seven.
But the quarterback at Oregon, remind me his name.
Dante Moore.
I mean, are you that blown away by Dante Moore, though? Did he have that good a year that you're sitting here thinking that's a clear advantage?
I like him over Baron Morton. Yes, okay. Over Baron Morton, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think Baron Morton could cost them. He could be the reason they don't win it.
What are you basing that on? The only loss was to ASU on the road.
I get that. He just hasn't been consistent to me, man. Just watch him and see. Have you watched him much this year? I actually like the other kid more when he would come in.
First of all, you did like the other kid more, and I think Utah hated the other kid more. And then I watched him in the both BYU games, which he looked really good in. I still think that's probably their best competition.
Absolutely.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, their defense, I love their defense. The linebacker Rodriguez, who won every defensive award he was eligible. He's really good, man. The more I watch him, because I hear like, oh, okay, this linebacker, he's that good. Every time I watch him, he's flying all over the field.
He's that good. Yep.
Right. He's flying all over the field. So yeah, I love their defense. I like their line. I always liked McGuire as a head coach. So yeah, they're in this game. I think this is the closest out of all the games. This is, for me, the hardest one to pick.
Okay, save your pick.
I'm not seeing a lot of separation between the two.
Okay, save your pick. All right, Rose Bowl, in the granddaddy of them all, in the shadow of the sun, Gabriel Mountains. If you're not playing the college football national championship there, I just don't know what you're doing. Right. By the way, there's a new documentary on Netflix for John Elway. Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah. There's a new doc. I mean, hey, maybe you watch the Bill Russell one first there, big boy, before you get all excited about a John Elway documentary. But regardless.
I never said I was excited.
Just settle down, okay? Anyway, it's pretty good. I've watched about half of it. It's pretty good. The only reason I bring it up is because their first Super Bowl against the Giants was in the Rose Bowl. It looks so good.
Taylor,
the Rose Bowl looks so good, though.
Correct, man. How about the Cowboys winning their first Super Bowl there? Like the first of the Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith Super Bowl.
It's the perfect football stadium. It just, there's no way to. It's perfect in every single way. And anyway, so we're at the Rose Bowl.
I mean, you guys won the Rose Bowl. Didn't y'all win the Rose Bowl? Was that against Washington State after the 02 season?
02. Nate Hibble. Yep.
Nate Hibble winning the Rose Bowl. How about that? And then, of course, you have the Georgia. Great setting though. Great football game as well. Texas 2-1 in Pasadena.
Won the national championship game.
Yep, won the Rose Bowl game against Michigan in 2004. Back there the next year to win the national championship, and then of course losing the national championship to Alabama after the 2009 season.
That would have been. I didn't realize. Now that you say it, I remember it was in the Rose Bowl. That would have been amazing, right?
It really would have been.
Holy cow! I didn't think about that. Okay. The winner of this lottery is Alabama and Indiana. Indiana's a 7-point favorite. Look, I think Indiana's really good. This is not.
Yeah, there's no questions about them as a program anymore. They've answered all the questions.
You beat Ohio State the way you did.
And Oregon.
You beat Oregon on the road the way you did. You go undefeated. How many teams are going undefeated these days? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it really doesn't happen.
They're 13-0, and it's just no slip ups. Bama got to play. Bama got a really big win. Kalen DeBoer is feeling a little confident. Ty Simpson's feeling a little confident. That defense is feeling a little confident. I, as an Indiana Hoosier fan, would not want to be playing Alabama in this game. I'm just saying.
We are on the same page here.
And now, I don't really have a good feeling one way or the other. I just know Bama's still Bama. And we, Oklahoma fan, got to experience that. When their backs were against the wall, their response was to blow us out of our own.
Which I still can't believe they were capable of that.
Can't believe it.
I didn't see that. I didn't think they had it in them. This team, the way their season has been, so up and down.
That's either here.
They should have got run.
We don't have to rehash that. But I know what I saw. And I saw a team with momentum and mojo and a quarterback that was playing a little cocky and coaches that were willing to make adjustments and the whole shebang. And I don't know that Indiana is supremely talented. They're not more talented than Alabama.
Oh, no, it's not close. They've got great players, and they might be the best coach team in the country.
They are.
The lack of mistakes.
They are.
Right?
They are. Yes,
but
100%.
From this point on, you're going up against teams that are supremely talented. And obviously, Ohio State was one of them, and they beat them. But you're about to go against, to go from Ohio State to now Alabama, and even if they win, so they're going to be at a clear talent disadvantage in this game. And the coaching matchup is very fascinating here. You know how I feel about DeBoer. Signetti's been great, but they've never been here. I'm just really fascinated to see how it goes.
Yeah, we're gonna pick it. But this to me is the hardest pick. I think I know which way I'm leaning, but look, all the scenarios are on the table for this game. By the way, again,
sure.
This is one of the
Vegas.
Indiana could roll.
Think they're a touchdown better.
Indiana could roll them, but I also think Alabama could roll them. You know what I mean? A couple picks or whatever. I think the game could be over. So, and then all of the things in between: close win, close loss win. All right. In a rematch where Ole Miss had scored the touchdowns on their first 7 drives against Georgia and still lost. Talk about things you can't imagine happening. Georgia's a 6.5-point favorite. They're the SEC champion. Ole Miss, the upheaval of Lane Kiffin leaving. Golden taking over. What's his first name? Pete Golding taking over. I love Trinidad Chambliss. I like the quarterback matchup going to Ole Miss. I don't like the head coaching matchup for Ole Miss's sake.
No.
I don't like the turmoil for Ole Miss's sake. I don't like them being down in some form or another all of their offensive staff over the last 30 days. They did look good against Tulane, but Tulane sucks, and Ole Miss was at home. I think Georgia rolls.
I agree, man. They've had a great season, Ole Miss. This is the one, though, where they miss Lane Kiffin here. This is a game where that'll catch up with them. Obviously, it didn't matter with playing against Tulane. They're going to beat Tulane no matter. You and I could have been coaching. They'd have been fine, but
Kevin, they had Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin did everything he could do to win that game, and they still got beat.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Scoring touchdowns on their first 5 possessions against Georgia. and
Yeah.
still not being able to get the win. Shows you how hard it is to beat Georgia. And yeah, I mean, this Georgia staff, they've been game planning for Trinidad Chambliss for, this amount of time. They're going to be flying around defensively. I think
Hey,
offensively, they're going to make plays too.
Look, I love Chambliss. You know that.
We both do.
I think of the 8 teams, I think, and this includes a Heisman Trophy winner. This includes 5 stars across the board at Bama, Ohio State, Miami, Georgia's guy's probably a 5-star. I don't know if he is, or at least a high 4-star. I mean, is every quarterback there a high 5-star quarterback, Kevin? Just real quick, Miami. Was Connor Beck a 5-star?
Was Beck? I don't think so. I think he's a 4-star.
He's at least a 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
Sayin?
5-star.
5-star?
Yeah.
The kid at Oregon? 5-star?
5-star, yeah. Uh-huh.
Tech probably wasn't a 5-star.
No.
Mendoza wasn't a 5-star.
No way.
Ty Simpson was, and then Gunnar Stockton?
4-star.
Okay. Anyway, very highly rated. I still take Trinidad Chambliss over all of them.
Yeah. I get that.
I do.
Yeah, he's
but
great, man.
But I don't know. Trinidad Chambliss doesn't play defense. And I just don't know that and he doesn't call plays. And he doesn't design the plays against Georgia, right? He's not a play designer or a play caller. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't play special teams. He doesn't play offensive line. I'm just not sure Ole Miss has enough to even keep this game close.
I agree. I want to see how. And remember, Kewan Lacey coming off an injury. He hurt his shoulder against Tulane, had to leave the game. I don't know how healthy he is too. He's their best guy from an offensive standpoint. Also, look out for him potentially in the portal.
Oh,
by the way, yeah, right. I mean, mass changes and the coaching staff's there. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't see. I hope it's a good football game. I just don't see Ole Miss having what it takes to beat Georgia, especially without Lane Kiffin.
All right, let's pick some games here. Let's start with that game, Sugar Bowl. Who you got?
I've got Georgia winning. I've got Georgia covering.
Yep. Rose Bowl.
I've got Alabama covering and winning.
Ooh, really?
I do.
I'm not going to be that bold.
It's hard to go against Vegas, right, with a 7-point spread, but I don't know. I'm feeling what Alabama's doing right now.
I got Bama covering.
Okay.
I think Indiana wins. I don't feel as confident. I can't go that far, but I do think they cover. Orange Bowl. I've got Texas Tech covering the 2.5 and winning.
Same.
You got Tech winning?
I do.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
It's going to be close though, because we'll see with Baron Morton. That's my biggest concern for them.
My guess is you have Ohio State covering the 9.5. Me too.
I do. Yeah.
Well, that's terrible. And then you probably have Texas covering, right?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Wow. Okay. Well, you're not going to make up any on me. The biggest question is, can I stay above 500? Okay. Because I'm at 39, 38, and 1. The fact that I picked the same games as you makes me very, very nervous, but that's okay. News and notes around the sports world that you and I have not had a chance to discuss since the last time we talked. Oklahoma City has a has a Spurs problem, or they have a Wemby problem. Kevin, let me ask. It's a very simple question. Yes, it's a yes or no answer. Has the window for Oklahoma's dynasty completely closed down? Are they the dynasty that never was?
No. Too early for that. Way too premature.
3 losses in 3 weeks to the Spurs?
And obviously, as a lifelong Spurs fan, I'm very excited about that. The thing about it, though, since that happened, since Christmas Day, when the Spurs have had won their third straight game.
Embarrassed the Thunder on Christmas Day?
On Christmas Day, yes. They haven't won a game since. They lost to Utah on Saturday, and then they lost to Cleveland last night. For the Thunder's sake, perhaps the Spurs get eliminated before they even play the Thunder in the playoffs, right? So this is a long way to go. The Thunder's formula, what's concerning about them, the Thunder's formula for success is their guards, right? Casey Wallace, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Jalen Williams, getting crazy pressure on your guards and forcing you into turnovers, which leads to easy buckets on the other end. When they play against the Spurs, this is not even a Wemby issue right here. The Spurs guards, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, they're completely unbothered by Casey Wallace and Lou Dort and Caruso. Their
Yes.
defense, it doesn't phase them at all, which is crazy because we see every other team in the league have crazy problems with those guys, and the Spurs guards, it doesn't phase them at all. That's not even beginning to start with Wemby, who completely changes the geometry of a basketball court.
Yes. The Thunder last year and in games that don't involve the Spurs are the best defensive team in the league. Something happens when they play the Spurs defensively. I will agree with that. For me, though, the issue is more on the offensive side of the ball. They haven't figured out how to play basketball when Wemby's on the court.
No, they can't they can't do anything inside the 3-point line.
The free-flowing offense that typically exists with the Thunder and the mid-range game that is Shea's bread and butter is completely eliminated.
Because no matter where he is on the court, he can get to your mid-range shot, which is, like you said, the geometry of how basketball works, how it has worked historically, and each, the different eras, right, of how the game is played. This era, he completely destroys the geometry of the court. Guys, shots that you can take against everybody, including 7-footers, you can't take against him.
Now, I'm going to come back to Wemby, but as it relates to the Thunder, I've thought more about this problem that the Thunder have with the Spurs than any NBA problem I've thought about since, I don't know.
Robinson and Hakeem?
Yeah. Since I was a kid. Like when my mind would just obsess about things. Well, maybe the Trailblazers for me. The Trailblazers were always like, how did we beat the Trailblazers back in the 90s? The Hakeem one's a good one too, though. But I've been like thinking about this, man. It's like been on my mind. Like, what's Dagnall going to do? He's got to do something. He can't keep doing what he's doing because it doesn't work. And my limited basketball brain thinks, dude, they got to go up tempo. They have to go up tempo, and they've got to try to get. Here's the problem. They're not shooting the ball well against the Spurs.
Yeah.
And they're not getting any offensive rebounds. Right? It's a bad combination. So when you have a low shooting percentage, the first answer to that is shoot more effective shots and you'll raise your percentage. But that doesn't seem to be the likely option against Wemby and the Spurs.
Correct.
So the only other way to score more points with a low shooting percentage is volume, right? As a team, you've got to kind of be a James Harden-like version of a team, right? Where you're just getting a lot of shots up.
Yeah.
Now, does that go against the Thunder's ethos and how they play? Yeah, probably. But listen.
You got to win the game, though. You got to win the game.
And you're going to win. And you got to win 4 games when you're in a series, right? You can't just go. You can't just go. Well, I tried my best. I mean, this is what worked for me. Yeah, well, great. That doesn't work now. Am I crazy that they've got to put a mental shot clock on their head of 14 seconds for every possession and just shots up, get shots up, get shots up?
Yeah, and the way the Spurs are defending them is leading to open looks, and you can see this Spurs game plan. Let them take open threes. Let them take the 3.
Well, take the 3 earlier in the shot clock and just generate more possessions. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, they've got to try something because what they've tried so far is not working. And the NBA Cup game was very close, but the last 2 games in San Antonio and in Oklahoma City, they weren't close.
Wasn't close. Okay, Wemby. Who's historically? Do you have a player comp for Wemby?
No.
I do. I think he's the modern day Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
I think when you go back and watch old school film of Wilt Chamberlain, he was crazy athletic for his size. He wasn't a big stick in the mud down on the, you know what I mean? He was 7'3" or what wasn't Wilt like 7'2", 7'3"?
Yeah, I think he's 7'2". Yeah, at least 7'1". Yeah, he's the
And
best athlete in the league.
He might have been the best athlete to ever play the game, including LeBron James.
Especially comparatively to the other guys he was playing against.
Well, especially compared to the other guys he was playing against. But if you took him into the 2000s with his skill set and said, oh, and by the way, you get to shoot a three. And by the way, we might even let you handle the ball. I think Wilt Chamberlain is your best. You know, you're not thinking Kareem's going to do that. You're not thinking Bill Russell's going to do any of that. You're not even thinking Shaq is, right? You're saying maybe, you know, David Robinson would have had a different.
Oh yeah, David Robinson for sure would have been a 3-point shooter.
But I think he's got a chance to be up in the category with Wilt Chamberlain if he continues, because man, the things he can do are unlike anything we've ever seen.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Jeffrey about it last night, and how they were playing against the Thunder, and Chet, who's 7'1" with a crazy reach, did a fadeaway against Wemby, and Wemby blocked it pretty much flat-footed.
Yeah.
Like, no one can do that. It changes how you play. Like, I think he has, I can't remember the exact number, but how many block shots he has when he's 6 feet away or more from the shooter. 6 feet away, you shoot a shot and it gets blocked. The guy's 6 feet away from you. It makes no sense.
Think about the world that we're watching with the NBA right now. How people are going to look back at this time. You know, there's some dead periods of the NBA. There's dead periods of the NBA where it's like,
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Dude, listen. You can take any player at the top right now, starting with Wemby, and go, he's the best player in the league, and here's why. Got very, very clear arguments. Very clear arguments. Changes the game. Nobody can stop him. He can stop everybody. He's a good passer, good ball handler, good shooter, good defender. His team is second in the, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Then you can take Shea and go, he's the best player in the league. And you can make all the arguments for him being the best player in the league. Because outside of when he plays the Spurs, he is the best player in the league. Like,
he's great against the Spurs. I mean, he wasn't good on Christmas, right? He had the 22 points. But he was good in the NBA Cup, but he was actually good in San Antonio too. So he's not the problem. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But he's super good, right? Like you can, and then you forget that Jokic is out there in Denver, averaging like more points than Jordan, more assists than Magic, more rebounds than Karl Malone, more assists than, you know, John Stockton.
Yeah, he's leading the league in rebounding and assists.
And points, right? Or no? Or is he like third in points or something?
Yeah, he's like third in points. Yeah, behind I think it's Jokic or Luka and Shea. Yeah.
I mean, we are living in a world where those three guys are as good at three basketball players as we've ever seen play basketball.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. That's amazing. And I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun time for the NBA. And I'm not even a huge NBA fan necessarily. I mean, I get more and more excited as the season goes on, obviously in the playoffs and stuff. But it's unbelievable right now. It is unbelievable what we're seeing.
Yeah. It's a great time to be an NBA fan.
All right. Some couple other notes. Bijan was able to do what he was never able to do in college because Sarkisian refused to give him the ball. But he ran for 22, 195, and a touchdown yesterday, and had his longest touchdown run of his career, college or pro, 93 yards. Dude looked fast going down the sideline against the LA Rams. They were able to pull out the win. Why do you think Sark refused to run Bijan Robinson when he had the chance, Kevin?
He's had 22 carry games at Texas before.
Kevin, why do you think that he would not give him the opportunity? You know,
he ran the ball play.
You ever watch Varsity Blues, Kevin? You probably haven't because you don't ever watch any fun movies. Have you ever watched Varsity Blues?
Varsity Blues, yes.
You know, like the tailback, how what's the guy's name? Who's the coach? John Voight, the John Voight character, doesn't want to give the running back to the tailback.
Yeah.
Because it's South Texas. You get you know what I mean?
I did.
Is that what's happened to Sark? Was that Sark's problem? Is Sark John Voight from Varsity Blues and refused to let Bijan score touchdowns?
He ran for 1,500 yards last year. Relax.
Mm-mm.
Relax.
I will not relax.
Relax. He's great. He was great for us. He's awesome.
That was a hell of a game he had yesterday, and that run he had was legit.
He's the best running back in the league.
He's the best running back in the league. Although his hair looks a little funky. Kind of got some
the Predator look going.
Yeah, Predator. It kind of reminds me of another Atlanta Falcon, the wide receiver from Alabama. What was it? Julio Jones.
Oh, Julio. Yes.
They always had some funky hair. That dude always had. He had like a receding hairline before I did. You know.
He did. Yeah. He did. Yeah. So he had.
I'm not saying Bijan's is like receding, but it has tendencies though. Yeah, Kevin, it has tendencies.
Maybe he's on the way there. He's 20. He's only 23 years old. That's a genetic thing.
That didn't change who. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. We can't control that.
I'm doing everything, dude. I'm doing like red light therapy. Apparently, it's supposed to like accelerate.
I understand, man. I understand. That's one thing. I got a fat head. But I can't have a bald head. So,
dude, you got a gorgeous head. You got a gorgeous head here, Kevin.
I'm hoping it stays that way.
Look,
because I cannot pull off the shaved head look.
Well, you know why I can't? Because I got the ridges, Kevin. Look at that.
See, I got mine in the back. Mine are in the back.
I got him in the back. I got him in the back. You see it?
Yeah.
I'm like Scottie Pippen, Kevin. I'm Scottie Pippen with the head.
Scottie with the head, yeah. Oh,
remember
yeah,
how bad?
I remember.
Dude, that's my greatest fear.
He did it for no reason. Scottie did it for no reason.
He did it to be different, and it did not last. He brought it out in the All-Star game, remember?
The All-Star game, yeah. The red shoes were enough.
Yeah.
That's all he needed. Bust out the red shoes. The red shoes were awesome.
The crazy part about my hair situation is I got this beard, right? And I like this beard.
Yeah.
This beard, it's not going anywhere. I get zero growth on the top, right? But under the chin, like behind the first layer of beard, like under the chin, dude, it's like, it grows. It's constant.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's kind of not attractive. I got to like really trim it.
You got to trim it. Yeah. You got to keep it right.
Yeah. I got to keep it right. Up here, I could go a month without a haircut. Down here, it's like every other day. It must be the shade. Must be the shade, Kevin. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anyway, Bijan played well. And then also in other OU Texas news, basically, really, it's just hasn't been great being a Sooner lately. It just hasn't felt good pretty much at all. Baker Mayfield going up against Quinn Ewers in his second start?
Second start, yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to make the playoffs. I don't think they can make it now. And if you can't win the NFC South, I mean, what are we even doing?
Right.
Going up against Quinn Ewers. This was not all Baker's fault. The defense but he threw a couple interceptions. The defense for Tampa Bay has been terrible this back half of the season. Just god awful. But Baker's not doing himself any favors. Loses to Quinn in his second start. I'll tell you what, I thought Quinn looked good.
So did I. That second touchdown he threw.
Yes.
That short pass in between two defenders. Yeah. I think he's, showing he belongs in the NFL. Is he ever going to be a starter full time? I don't know. But at least he's showing he's going to be in the NFL for a while.
Now, I don't know how much of it is Tampa Bay, because, again, I just mentioned how bad their defense has been. But, like, when you watch Tua play for Miami, there was always a sense that he was about to just get destroyed. Right? There was always this sense that he was running for his life.
You're just waiting on it, yeah.
You were waiting for him. You were always, and it seemed like he was always having to scramble one way or the other. He was always under duress, or at least it felt that way when you watched. Maybe it was just PTSD from the number of hits he's taken. I did not feel that way from Quinn. Quinn seemed very comfortable in the pocket.
He did very comfortable in the pocket. They protected him well.
And you saw what I saw? It just looked like what a quarterback's supposed to look like in the NFL, just like drop back.
Yes. Yeah, slide away from the pressure when need be.
Not nearly the theatrics that you get from a Tua game.
Yes, correct.
Okay, you saw that too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Even
don't
though
know if he's
football
going to.
with certain quarterbacks, right? We talked about it even with Mateer. Sometimes he can't. And he did better of it in y'all's last few games. He actually wasn't bad with it during the Alabama game, but yeah, just being able to sit there. He just always drifts. He can't help himself.
That's
Tua
kind
the
of
same
what
way.
Toa's the same way, man. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Quinn's going to start or not, but he looked eye test. I mean,
He didn't
look,
look out of place.
we all think Tua is a better quarterback than Quinn. I think, maybe, probably.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he's a 5-star guy too.
big arm.
Big time. Yeah.
But won a national championship with Alabama against Georgia in 2018. All the things, or 17. But I don't know. I'm not saying Quinn's going to be the star. I don't know. I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan. I don't really care what he does. But I'm just saying eye test.
Yeah, he didn't look out of place in the NFL.
Yeah, in that.
We've seen some guys and quarterbacks in these games just like, dude, like, how are you on a roster?
Well, like the kid for Minnesota. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you see on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
That poor dude. I think they won the game. I think they might have won the game. I don't know, but it just was like he couldn't do anything. He couldn't complete a 5-yard pass. It was, listen, dude, we haven't even talked about, maybe we talked about the fact that Phillip Rivers is playing just speaks to how the dearth of quality.
Right.
And then they had to throw a Hail Mary, so they had to put the kid in from Notre Dame because Phillip Rivers said, "I don't have the arm to throw."
I don't have the arm. Yeah, he's never had a cannon, even at his, during his prime. So at 44 years old, yeah, don't expect him to be able to throw the ball 60 yards in a game.
Oh boy! All right.
Though, by the way, if you're the backup court and they're bringing in Phillip Rivers.
Oh yeah, well, it's the kid from Notre Dame. What's his name?
Yeah, Riley Leonard.
Yeah, I mean, what? My question is, why are you bringing in Phillip Rivers over Riley Leonard?
Correct.
Not to your point. You're saying, yeah, it's an indictment. Yeah. But even if it's not an indictment, the kid's got to figure out how to play.
Yeah, for sure. And then the whole Anthony Richardson thing. I know he's injured, but man,
no,
I still can't believe the dude tapped out of an NFL game.
Yeah.
He went, you know how when you're tired, you tap your helmet and the coach subs you out for a play?
Yeah.
I've never in my life seen a quarterback do that.
Because you're a wide receiver.
Yes. Or you're a running back.
Have you ever seen an offensive lineman do it?
No. I've never seen an offensive lineman do it, and I certainly have never at any level of football seen a quarterback do that. I don't care if he just ran for a 50-yard run.
No, you might call timeout. I've seen that. Yeah. I have seen that.
Correct. Or just, hey, if they call a pass or whatever, check to a run play.
Yeah.
Just check to a run play and give the ball to the running back and just use that snap to catch your breath. But I've never seen a quarterback tap out of a game for a play and then admit that he was tired.
Look, the NFL has progressed a long way, and things are different than they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago in terms of concussion hits and hits on the quarterback and, backside blocks. And
the game is much safer than it ever has.
The game is safer, and you can make an argument that guys aren't as tough, although football still
I disagree with that, but yeah.
Football seems like a pretty tough sport to me still, but you could make the argument. And the argument is there, right? Joe Montana was subjected to way more hits than
Patrick Mahomes.
Or, Tom Brady or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's
even Tom Brady got the rule change, right? When he got hit low.
Yeah. Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman.
Oh, they used to get destroyed. I mean, you could legitimately, as a defensive lineman or linebacker on a blitz, you can lift the quarterback off the ground and drive him into the turf.
After he got rid of the ball.
Correct.
After he got rid of the ball.
Yes.
Not just. But hey, the game is modified. It's adjusted for its own survival, right? For its own survival. But there's still something about the fact that you need a certain dude to lead you.
Right.
Like you got to have that guy. He's got to be a guy that the other 10 dudes look at and say, Yeah, no. I'll do what you tell me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do what you tell me to do. And whether that's Patrick Mahomes,
correct.
whether it's Josh Allen, although that was
Lamar
bad.
Jackson even. Teammates love him.
Real quick, Josh Allen, that was a bad throw when they went for 2.
Oh, man, they had him too. He had him.
It was a bad throw. CJ Stroud,
yes,
I think is having a great season at the Texans and looks good doing it. And there's just, you got to have that dude. And I just think we have, for whatever reason, there's a dearth of those. Obviously, it's why the position gets paid so much. It's why they constantly overdraft guys, is because all these guys can throw the ball 60, 70 yards. They've all played 7v7 since they were 10 years old. Like all of them. But there's only never 32, right? There's always 20 or 22 that people are willing to play for.
Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson has proven beyond a doubt he is not one of those dudes.
No, you just can't tap out of a game, man. You just can't do it.
You can't do it, dude.
Again, if the guys who are protecting you that are 300 to 350 pounds, if they're in the game every play, you have to be in the game every play. Straight up.
Yeah, but you just never see, like you said,
I've never seen it before. I've never seen a like.
It's weird.
Yeah,
dude.
It's like,
dude, we've seen Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham and Josh Allen,
Cam Newton,
all just run and run and run and run.
Who is like, and
for the record, if anybody was going to tap out, it was going to be Cam Newton, right?
Yeah, he never did that, right? I mean, this dude got drilled. He took so many big hits and ran the football. He was so tough out there. And he would never do something like that. And when you think about Anthony, real quick before, look at Anthony Richardson, and if you're a scout, you see Cam Newton from a physical ability with the arm strength, the athleticism. That's what, but obviously it hasn't been that.
Arch ain't tapping out against Michigan, is he? The Cheez-It Bowl?
Arch ain't never tapping out, man. One thing that can never be questioned with Arch Manning is his toughness, because he got destroyed this year. He got destroyed. He stood in there and took massive hits.
Not by Texas. Not by Oklahoma. I don't think we touched him.
I don't know. Sark game plans very well against Venables.
Well, yeah,
even when he's at a disadvantage. He was at a clear disadvantage. Our offensive line going up against your defensive line was a massive mismatch, and he completely neutralized it.
I think he did the same thing Kellen DeBoer did, and he stretches those plays out and takes away our aggressiveness.
Yeah. Right.
He just stretched it out, and now you can't go north to south. You have to go side to side, and it just reduces that first step that Oklahoma typically can get.
That you guys are really good at. You guys can shoot gaps. Grayson Halton especially.
Yeah, but when you have that hesitation and you can't shoot that gap, and now you're having to just hold your guy up and expect somebody else to make the play, and you only have one. You have only one or two linebackers. It's not.
It's not what you're best at.
We're gonna have to make those adjustments. Those adjustments.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. Okay, we have the same picks, so I am rooting for the same picks you were rooting for. I don't know. I can't say I'm rooting for Texas. It'd be kind of cool to see Bryce Underwood have a really good game. It's also going to be interesting, it'll be a halfway preview for what Oklahoma can expect in Ann Arbor next year. So we'll see. I'd like to see a shootout. Just give me a fun game. And the others, man, it's the playoffs, dude. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're all going to be fun.
I want to see some close, entertaining football
games. 100%. Kevin, enjoy them. Have a great week. And we will talk after these games. Boomer!
Next year, man. Last show of the year.
Next year. Hey, dude. I'll see you next year. Boomer!
Hook 'em.